Hello students, in this video we are going to discuss Cbse class 11 marks chapter 10 conic sections. We've already started off with this chapter and I've given the introduction to this chapter in the previous video. So today we are going to just continue with that, children. So we learnt about how we get the conic sections, that is how we get a cone or with this kind of a double generated cone, how we are going to divide it, okay, how we are going to cut it so that we get a parabola or a circle or an ellipse or a hyperbola. So while we learned about this called the axis, and then this generator, okay, so this generator moves around the axis, okay, and then this is called as we get two napes here. This one is called as the upper nape and the one which is down is called as the lower nape, okay. So we have two napes here. So all that we learnt previously. So we learned that when the plane is going to cut the nape other than the vertex of the cone, so we are considering conditions where it is going to cut in such a way that it doesn't cut the vertex. So vertex means what? So this point, okay, so it doesn't cut this point, but in some other point, then what are the conditions we have? Okay, so in this only we saw four conditions. The first one is where when this angle beta, okay, alpha is nothing but the angle between the axis and the generator, so through which we moved the generator in order to get the cone, okay. So this beta is nothing but where we are going to cut it, okay, so where we are going to intersect the plane with the cone. So the angle with which we intersect, that is called as the beta, and this beta, when it is going to be 90 degree, we will get a circle. So you can see here we are getting a circle, okay. When you see that the angle beta is going to be greater than alpha but lesser than 90 degree, if it is going to be greater than alpha but lesser than 90 degree, then we can say that this section is going to be an ellipse, okay. So beta is going to be greater than alpha and also it is going to be lesser than 90 degree. In that case, what you are going to get? You are going to get an ellipse. When beta is equal to 90 degree, you are going to get a circle, okay. The next case is for a hyperbola. So in hyperbola, again this is the same condition, cuts the nape other than the vertex, okay. When beta is equal to alpha, when you're going to cut a section in such a way that your alpha and beta are going to be equal, so your beta and alpha are going to be equal, in that case you will be getting a parabola. Not only here, even in this side, if you're going to cut the same angle, even then you are going to get a parabola. If you see, in all these cases we were going to do a section only on either the lower nape or on the upper nape, okay. We can do it the same thing even in the lower nape here. So this is our angle alpha. So in that case, if this is alpha, so I can say that this is also alpha. So I can even cut an angle here, okay, in such a way that here you are going to have another angle beta where it is going to be equal, okay. So in that case you can have another angle, so in that case also you can get a parabola. The final one is with the hyperbola. So here in all these cases we cut only one part of the nape, okay, but here this plane is going to cut across one nape, so across this, that in such a way that it will curve on both the napes. See, it cuts through both the napes. So previous case it was only going to cut through one nape only. So one nape is for what? It is for circle, it is for ellipse, and it was for a parabola, okay. For hyperbola, you are getting the angle beta to be either equal to 0 or it is going to be from 0 till alpha, okay. So it's going to be equal to 0 or greater than 0, and this beta should also be less than alpha. So in these conditions, when you have the angle beta, in that case you can see that you are going to generate a hyperbola, okay. So in this way we are getting these hyperbola and all. So next one what you're going to learn is the new concept, that is the degenerated conic sections. Here you are going to do about the degenerated conic sections. So what is this degenerated conic sections? So there we saw that in the previous sections we saw that it was not cutting at the vertex. It was cutting at any place other than the vertex. Okay. So in the vertex we are not able to see there was any cut. But here in these degenerated conic sections you are going to see similar sections where you are going to cut across the vertex. See, in all these diagrams you can see it across the vertex, but still depending on how you cut it across the vertex you will be able to get different shapes, you can say. Okay, so first one, so when the plane is going to cut at the vertex of the cone, okay, so at an angle greater than that is a beta is going to be greater than alpha and less than or equal to 90 degree, then you can say that when you cut like this you only get a point. Okay, you don't get anything else but a point. When you cut here, what are you going to get? You're going to get only a point. The next thing is when you're going to cut along this section, okay, so here when alpha is going to be beta, so in that case when alpha is going to be beta and you're going to cut like this across the vertex, then you can say that this is the straight line which you are going to get. Okay, so this degenerated section is going to be a straight line. Section is going to be a straight line where alpha is equal to beta. Okay, the next one is when it is going to cut it at the vertex at some angle, okay, at some angle beta which is going to be greater than or equal to 0 and less than alpha. So this beta is from what? 0 to alpha. In that case you will be able to get a pair of intersecting straight lines. See, you have this straight line here and then this straight line here. So in this case you are going to get a pair of intersecting straight lines. So you can get a pair of intersecting straight line. That is the degenerated conic section which you are getting in this case. Is it clear, children? So these are the different cases to get the degenerated conic sections. The first one is where we got a point when beta was greater than alpha and less than or equal to 90 degree. Okay, so when it is going to be cut in an angle where you are going to get the alpha is equal to beta. Okay, so if it's going to be here and alpha is equal to beta, if this is the alpha and this is going to be the beta, okay, so then you can see that you're going to get a straight line. So in this case where the beta is going to be greater than or equal to 0 and less than alpha, you are going to get intersecting lines. Okay, here you have a point, so and then here you have a straight line and here you have two intersecting straight lines. So this is all about the degenerated conic sections. Is it clear, children? Yes. So these are all the basic concepts which you need to learn under all these. So in the first video we saw about how we are going to get an ellipse, a circle, a parabola or hyperbola. We saw that we are going to have a section at any point apart from the vertex. So we did not consider the vertex. But here we are learning about the vertex also. So is it clear, children? So if you have any doubts, please go through the video once again and try to understand. Okay, see you again with the next concept in the next video. We'll be learning about each of these shapes in detail, children. So when that comes, we'll be learning how to solve questions related to those. Okay, see you again in the next video with the next concept. Thank you, children.